Hi everyone, Sean here with a little update on the PSP 1000s that I've been working on from that big lot. Remember I had 5, and number 1 just needed a new analog stick. And it turns out the analog stick was fine, but the way the housing was fitting around the analog stick was causing it to drift. So this one is fixed and good to go. Then number two here, just let's see, it was not responding at all on the buttons on the right. So once I got that fixed, then there was some UMD drive noise that I had to solve. So fix that. And then once I got the UMD drive fixed, then I had problems with this analog stick. And this one I just had to replace. So it happens. Number 3 is completely dead. This one, it's a motherboard problem. If I open it up and I put some pressure on certain spots on the motherboard, then it will boot, but it'll lock up after just a few seconds. So this one is going to be an organ donor. I'm going to use it for parts, which I'm going to need to fix number 4. Number 4 here has a bad power switch. This is just flopping around. It's missing the home bar buttons. If I push in this area, there's nothing back there. So those buttons are gone. I don't know what the previous person did to this thing, but it's missing some parts. And then when I did get it to power on, the analog stick was misbehaving, so PSP 1000, of course, it's going to have an analog stick problem. And then the last one, number 5, was DOA. It wouldn't boot, but that turned out to be the screen. Once I replaced the screen, then it powered right up. So, yay, another fixable PSP. This one, once I got the screen fixed, had a really noisy UMD drive, so I had to fix that. And it also had analog stick drift. And this is another Chinese replacement faceplate. So I had to, same as on the other one, I had to go in and modify the fit of the faceplate around the analog stick to get it to sit in correctly. And now it's good to go. So I am down to just one that can be worked on. So I'll do that next. Hi everyone, so I'm going to get started on PSP number 4. This one has no power switch, has no home row buttons, and would only boot with the auto boot battery. So the reason I use this, let's see, is if I plug this one in, I would think it was dead. So I have no response here. If I use the auto boot battery, give it a sec. There it is. So behind this panel is a switchboard that has membranes for the buttons and the power switch and the LED. So I'm going to replace that part because that's most likely the problem. And then I'm going to look at the home bar here, and I see it's not even screwed together. Okay, yay. So we have a home bar. Interesting. Actually, we don't have the home bar. What we have is the right switch board. Seems like the switch isn't there. Okay, so I'm going to try a little more light this time and see if I can't get a better shot of the working process. Okay, first I need to remove the screen. The screen snaps into the metal frame. So it's best to pry it up on the left side and then slide it out. Okay. Get a trusty toothpick. I go through a lot of toothpicks. Okay. Screen is out. To remove the switchboard, it's supposed to be connected to a flex cable on the back. Odds of this one being connected are about 50-50, so let's see. Nope, not connected. And this switch is destroyed. These parts are all screwed in, that's a good sign. But I'm going to have to remove the mid plate anyway to get to this flex cable so I can attach the new board. What else do I need here? I need a home bar. I am probably going to have to salvage that from the DOA unit. So let's get it opened up. I am trying to learn how to show the camera what I'm doing. It's very odd. This faceplate is slightly too scratched up to salvage. That's too bad. And I know from when I powered it on that this LCD panel also has a vertical line through it, so it can't be reused either. But I can keep it around and use it as a tester when I'm trying to figure out if a problem is the motherboard or not. More buttons. Okay, again, remove the screen. Pop it off from the left. My hands are in the way. There we go. Then slide it out. Okay, I need to not lose track of that one because it is broken. So I've salvaged my home row button. Now I need to salvage my right, which means getting this off. Missing screw, missing screw. Someone was in here. And they lost a lot of screws. These are missing too. So there are 2 screws in the back. These are not used to hold the faceplate on. These go right into the mid plate. And then to release the mid plate, just toggle the latch. And out it comes. Okay. Since I don't know the state of that flex cable, but I am pretty sure this flex cable works, I will try and keep the whole thing. The flex cable is this flexible conductive ribbon. And to release this switchboard, flip it up from the top, lift it out, and then lift it up. There we go. Set the organ donor aside, and back to the one we're trying to save. This one still has most of its screws. So that screw is a short one. This screw is a long one. Another long one. These 2 on the outside are the long screws. That's a short. And another short. Then the 2 in the back. Already missing. Did I take those out? I think I took those out. So there's one more screw here, which I didn't remove. I shouldn't have to. That's used to actually hold the hinge in place for the door. Okay. Another mid plate. We'll just bye-bye flex cable. Don't even know if it's good. Okay, to install the new one. Position the flex cable. Once it's in position, you can latch it down. It's not quite in position yet. There's a ridge right here at the end that you can use to push it in. My antenna's in the way. There we go. Get that toothpick out of there. Installing this is the opposite of taking it out, of course, except we need to make sure that the switch settles into position right there. See it? Okay. And then snap it in at the top. Okay. This goes on after the screen. Let's see. Next. This is our right trigger membrane. And this is the right trigger retaining clip. Together, those hold the right trigger membrane in place. And now I'm just going to pick the cleanest of the trigger buttons. These two look okay. There we go. I will reinstall the original mid plate. Sometimes the trigger or the latch doesn't align if you pull one from a different version. So I try and keep them matched. Now on this, there's a little clip on this side, so it needs to sit into that clip for this area to sit flat. And that's very important, otherwise the analog stick will drift. It's one of like 100 reasons a PSP 1000 analog stick will drift. Screw it in. See if you can see this. There we go. That's all the short screws, 2 more long screws. Mid plate is secured. The latch works. Get this. Okay. Can feel the switch working. The board is secure. And this is flush. I'm going to give it a little press right here on the flexible connector to make sure that's seated. That's a critical part in, you guessed it, analog stick drift. This faceplate has a very small nick right there, but I think I'll run with it if this thing even works. Reinstalling the PSP 1000 LCD. All of them actually. I start with the power cable, and this is the power to the backlight specifically. Flip the latch up. Get it started. See how I grabbed the little tab at the side of that connector? They all have that little tab you can hook onto with your spudger. I don't know why this isn't going down all the way, but sometimes they do that if you have an aftermarket screen. This screen looks to be legit, so I can't explain that, but it should still work. At least well enough to test. Open the latch. I'm going to insert I struggle with this normally, trying to do it on camera. Even trickier. There we go. Yep. Home row is back in position. Home bar. And I'm not going to bother cleaning the screen yet. I just want to see how close I am to a working PSP. Not using the battery this time. I want to make sure the switch works. Testing the volume buttons to make sure I have a working connection to the home bar. Okay, I'm going to shut this down and do a more complete test. Now what I'm going to do here is just test that all the buttons work. I'm going to hold this in position and see if the analog stick is behaving, but I know I won't get a good read on that without securing it all down. And here we have absolutely no response from the analog stick. See, even in its disassembled state, I should get something here. So that's a problem. Let's try the other faceplate. Still nothing. So, gonna have to look at that. There is no elastomeric connector there. Okay, we'll take the one off of this one. Don't lose this piece. I think these only function in one orientation, and with my luck I probably had it in wrong. There we go. Now if I let this go, you can see it keeps wanting to drift north. I don't know that screwing it down will solve that. Let's try the other faceplate. This is the one that was on it anyway. Yeah, this stick is much better behaved. I think I'll be okay with this faceplate if I secure it. So, now I will clean the screen. Just looking at the faceplate. This screw hole is the most important in terms of solving analog stick drift. So if this screw hole is stripped, then I won't be able to use this faceplate. And it is feeling stripped. Try a different screw. Nope. Screw hole's definitely stripped. Looks like the post is cracked. This faceplate is done. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to swap around parts and find a faceplate. Okay, so I took the faceplate off the dead unit, which is a little more scratched than I would like. Can't really see it on camera, but yeah, it's not in great shape. I may shell swap this whole thing later, but for now I just want to get it working. Okay. Good. Good. That's snug down. Screws on both of these units were pretty random. I'm still short a couple of screws. So I will have to go rummaging through my parts box. It's sitting in unusually deep. Okay. Triggers are good. Buttons are good. Analog stick is good. Cosmetically, it's not in great shape, but it's functional. Let's test the USB drive. Found the disk. Play a couple of tracks, listen for seek noises. Quiet. That's good. That's a perfectly normal seek noise. Sounds good. Okay. PSP number 4 is fixed. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go play some Ridge Racer. Bye for now.